Hello there, everyone. This is Whole Super 17 here, so let me first, like usual. I did not own this picture, this is not a paid video. Alright, okay. So, here's the thing. Tomorrow, I was gonna plan, later today, I was gonna plan to work on something, but I am doing, splitting some wood. Sometime in the afternoon, maybe, or, I don't know. So, I, decided to make part 10 tomorrow. Maybe in the morning? Maybe? And then make a what if that I said I was going to make in the... after I make part 10, because that's where I'm technically taking a stop from. Just so I can work on a couple what ifs that people have been asking for. So, yeah. But this series will, part 11 will come after 2 or 3 videos. I make a part 2 or 3 or whatever part I need to make for. So yeah. I have basically gave Izuku new titles. Basically, first player, which is a title that would give him 200 XP. And first party leader, the leader would get 50 plus XP. 50%. Basically it's 200%. XP, 50% of XP. That means Izuku would get 50% of XP, and the party members would get only 30% of XP. So yeah. So I'm using this to basically have Izuku level up pretty quickly. And hold on. And this is when Izuku is going to have his hero agency and hunting, his hunting agency to basically be, announced. Somewhat. The new agency of heroes will be announced, but there'll be a hunter one. Society won't know about it until absolutely necessary. But whatever. That's just what it's going to mostly cover a little bit. But we are going to go sometime into the area, to the overhaul arc. And I think part 10 will be covering most of it. Maybe even to, Saponari. But first I need to have Izuku get up to level 200 and so he can get a certain skill which I need him to get. And I'm gonna have him to level up some skills. So yeah. So anyways, everyone, let's get into this what if now. Alright, okay. So this is what Izuku had basically the solo leveling system. Oh, wait. Before I do that, someone did ask me to make a Naruto one. I will make that eventually. I just have to do some things. So yeah. But anyways, let's get into this. Alright, so as Izuku basically been, as I had him, waking up. He wakes up from his dungeon with Virgil. And he has received the sword Yamato, and he's mixed it, and he combined it with his katana. So, what he's basically thinking of doing while he's waking up is just go do his workouts, take a shower, eat breakfast, and then just go to the guild. As Izuku then looks at his screen as it says, new titles added. He goes, huh? First player. He goes, alright. And then he says first party leader. As it goes, I guess that was from yesterday. Alright. I did notice you guys were saying stuff about like the blacksmith. But this is like the solo leveling system. They still have like the same thing as Izuku has. So basically, it's the strength, agility, sense, vitality, and intelligence, along with OP, so ability points. I mean, AP, I think. Yeah, I think it's AP. Oh no, it's ability. Oh, so yeah, so um, that's it. So everyone has the exact same way as Izuku. It doesn't like it's not like basically they hold our skills with like other ones like dexterity, persuasion. None of that happened. No, it just has the basic what Izuku has. That's it. But it just helps a lot more with them too. But they can also go to their quirks. So yeah. Now that explanation's out of the way, well, for this one, Natsu would have to have a strength and at least an intelligence boost, intelligence stats to be very high to make certain weapons and such. But yeah, okay, I need to stop talking, just go on. So Izuku just says, starts reading it. As he reads that, he gets a 200% of experience points with first player, which he says, now if I go into high rank dungeons and I basically kill the monsters, I can then, yes, sweet. So and then he goes to like the party, he reads the party leader and first party leader, as he even gets a 50% of like more XP along with his party members. That's good. So if we go in a team, it's gonna grind. And then he basically says, wait, building, guild slash hero slash hunting guild upgrades. As then Izuku basically goes into it as he sees the building and what he can do. He can like give some traps. He's just looking at the building. When he gets there, there's gonna be even more. It's gonna pan out more. So he was like, huh. So as he does read, because there is an icon saying you have to be at the building itself to see more about it. But it's he sees traps, basically traps, durability, what like able of taking attacks from certain things like villains attacks and such. Building that extra stuff on the outside of it, because the building does not have nothing else. Like there's like not that many buildings around it, so basically there's like a lot of like an empty area around it. Because Endeavor's agency, he bought a building and there's like a lot of empty land. And yeah, so Izuku, it goes all right. Ezel is still asleep. Mika is asleep too, and Izuku just does his training. And, does his workouts. He gets some. So after he's all done with it, like for 30 minutes or so, he basically gets 3 more points and our key. Let's just say it is a C rank, not C rank, a D rank key. C rank, C rank key. So now he has 57 points. And Yomika wakes up. She asks, what time is it? And he goes like, it's only 9 something in the morning. I'm gonna go get some sleep. I mean, not some sleep. I'm gonna go take a shower, I meant to say. And she goes, alright. So he does that. And, he comes out, he changes. Mika's in the living room just making breakfast. And goes with her. They're talking. She asks Izuku what time did he get home. He just tells her truthfully, didn't check. All I know is I had a really interesting battle with the demon swordsman, Virgil. He was tough. Honestly, I couldn't even summon out my shadowed warriors. But hey, I beat him. Got a cool new sword which I combined with my katana. I wonder about my swordsman skill. There might have been an icon saying it leveled up and I never knew about it. As he does check, and it says level 2. He was like, darn, I did level it up. And I didn't even notice. Sheesh. Alright, that's good. So yeah. So Izuku basically, talking and chatting with them while they're making dinner. Not dinner, breakfast, and he helps and all that. And then, he gets a text from Nezu saying that, would you mind meeting us at the agency? And Izuku says, yeah, I'll bring Elise with me too. I mean, Ezel, not Elise. Ezel with me too. He goes, alright. She is a part of the agency too. As, Deku looks at Ezel. He was like, hey, Ezel, we're going to have to go back to the building. The agency. She goes, really? He goes, yeah. She goes, why me? He goes, you're a part of it. She goes, oh, yeah, alright. So, they do that. After they eat and all, Izuku says bye. And Hiko says, alright, just be safe and all that. So, yeah, so basically, they go. They're just walking to the agency. And they get on the train and such. They're just talking. He's talking to her about what he saw this morning, and she's impressed, and now she's happy that he can kind of increase his level faster, along with other people can increase their levels faster too to get stronger. So he puts a thumbs up to that, and he did leave the Queen Factory there, but since he can make like multiple now of enemies, and then he just attack them. He's gonna basically get some more, like, he's gonna basically grind off of the enemies until like he reaches a good dungeon. I mean, not a good dungeon, a good level. So yeah. So when Izuku and Ezo gets to the building, Nezu, All Might, Mirko, Endeavor, and Bakugo, Kirishima, Mina, Denki. And what else? And Natsu's there. They're all there. And Izuku goes like, so why is All Might and Mirko? I mean, he looks at Mirko and goes like, sup? And she goes, hi. Then he just says, I think I did put All Might into it. No, I didn't think I did. So All Might just asks, why are they two here? He goes, well, All Might was interested, and Mirko wants to understand what's the difference between everyone, between these people and her. And he goes, alright, hey Natsu, you think you can make them some weapons? As Natsu nods, and so they go into the building. And then right away, Zuki gets a notification saying upgrades to the building, even the outside infrastructure can be done. As he basically can see what he can do to the building, add a cafeteria, basically traps, defenses, the ground, something about the ground someone did say. He seeing what he can do, add a cafeteria, add a combat area, add an extra storage space, just information space. And heck, he even says a gate summon area. And then, because it's outside, and they basically can claim land. Basically, it seems like, even though Izuku already knows the layout and how big the area is, it still says claim land and add whatever crops and such to it. The traps basically are lethal, non-lethal. And Izuku goes, guys, I think I can upgrade the building, or we can. As Natsu just goes, really? He goes, yeah. As in, basically, Izuku sees there's an upgrade center we can put, basically to have everyone see what we can upgrade and, figure out and such. Or just, see what we need to do. We get, missions and such from, hero work. So then Endeavor says, so like a mission board. Izuku nods. So hold on real quick. So yeah, Izuku basically just he sees what he can do. He can create the mission board along with the gate summon, which is basically just a regular gate that they can go into. And Izuku looks at all of them. He goes, "We're gonna have to go outside and put this down." And they all do. They go outside. They pick an area for it. Izuku basically crafts the gate, as then like it opens up. Well, like it's like basically like open up a little like wormhole, as in like the gate like pops out, as in it's like on a stone slab, with basically in the middle like a circle's happening, and there's like even like a console that says, "Would you like to open up a gate? Yes or no?" So yeah, they're all shocked by this, and then Izuku basically says, "All right, first off, let's go inside real quick and get those like gauntlets for like All Might and well, spike boots for Mirako." Hold on. So yeah, so that's what they do. They go into the storage. They do have some. They do have the materials to make them. So that's what they do. And also, like Izuku says, "Hey Natsu, come over here and look." As they go, "All right, let me see yours." So basically, Izuku looks at it, and like Natsu can. He asked Mika if Natsu can like see it since he is the blacksmith. And she goes, "Hold on, let me try something." As she touches him, and she's able to. Well, he's able to see like Izuku's screen only, like the upgrades. And he goes, "Oh, I see. We can upgrade the forge, and we can add other like elements to the weaponry with this upgrade. Heck, we can even have another section off for basically making a magical swords, like pure magic swords." And Izuku goes, "Yeah, I know. That's amazing, right?" And they are. Well, not too amazed by it. So he says, "Let me, just start working on the, you know, upgrade. I mean, the weapons, and then we can go into the dungeon and get some more like pieces of armor, sets, because you don't need it because you already have pretty good armor on." As he says, "Yeah, so come on, basically, Natsu gets to work. He basically finishes All Might's gauntlets with a accessory of 100, along with basically Mariko's boots with spikes on them with 100. And as soon as they put them on, they basically start seeing a stat. Level 1, basically their stat, I mean, they're level 1, their stats, All Might strength is about 30, along with like Miriko's strength and agility are about 25 each. All Might's intelligence, it be like only like 12. Agility is about 25. Sense about 10. And vitality, pretty good amount. So yeah, Miriko's pretty good too. I goes, "Alright, so let's go outside." I think they do. But Izuku, while they're outside, and everyone's just got their like gear and stuff, Izuku is basically wondering something. Claim land and check for, well, how well it is. Could we actually start a little farm? And if we make a cafeteria, as then he points to an area over on this side, then we could have, yeah, we could have a pretty good, well-rounded vegetable patch over that way. And then we use the vegetables in the garden, or about the fruits and the vegetables and such. So basically go into the kitchen. All right. Nezu basically is like walking over to Izuku, and he asks, "Well then, Izuku, I just have a question. What should we call your agency?" Somebody did say dark. Um, Dark Shadow? Let me double check. Yeah, they say Black Army. So we're gonna go with that. As Nezu does ask, why? He goes, because my shadows technically are black and blue. So, and I have an army. As he understands, he goes, alright, that seems simple enough. And Nezu basically signs on the paperwork saying, the guild is called, well, the hero agency is called the Black Army. Nah, we're gonna just call it the Shadow Army. Yeah, it's gonna be called Shadow Army. Change it. Yeah. So Nezu puts down Shadow Army, and yeah. So Izuku says, cool. And then like actually it has a guild slash hero agency, Shadow Army, the name as was updated such. He was like, huh, neat. As Izuku goes over to the gate summon, as in it basically says, would you like to open up a gate? And Izuku just press yes. So he tells everyone to walk in. He puts on he basically says 2 titles can be activated now. He goes, huh. Alright, so he puts in first player and then party leader. So he gets about 250% of XP now. And when they walk into it, all of a sudden it's a red gate that activates. Like Izuku can feel it. Like after everyone get in, he goes in. And when they enter, basically the place is closed off. As Izuku goes like, oh great. Elise is there too. So like she has her armor on and her spear out. She goes, Izuku, what's wrong? He goes, nothing, just it's a red gate. Oh, and then like Endeavor does want to ask, Izuku, why is she here? He goes like, oh, that's my girlfriend. And she's a princess and a demon. And Endeavor just eyes widen. Then all of a sudden, he just starts crying. He goes, that's so awesome. Like he's kind of he's trying to hold back the tears because honestly, he basically played a game he's remembering about being a demon, and there was like this one party member that was a demon girl that he was basically always was kind to. Basically, he's making his characters kind to and date. So that was like his like he was pretending to be his freaking girlfriend when he like was like still in middle school before he met his wife. So yeah, that's Endeavor. He's having a flashback, and then he's kind of jealous. He's just thinking, I hate this game because I'm so jealous now. As Ezel was just saying, yeah, come on. As Izuku's, yeah, let's get this over and done with. Who knows how long we have? A dungeon basically will be an hour there, will be a day here. So let's just do this. As he just summons out a couple of shadow minions, the Night Shadows, the Nomus. He even summons out Stain, and then King Arthur's shadow along with Merlin and Lancelot, along with another Knights of the Round Table, and like their knights too. And he just says, alright, everyone, here's the thing. This dungeon, well, it's a very dangerous one. The gate might have been an A to B rank dungeon or even an S rank. So, well, my forces are gonna probably destroy them. Basically these guys are gonna destroy these monsters. And then, well, you're gonna gain experience from them, along with me. Do you understand that? As they nod, and All Might says, I want to test out my strength. He goes, alright. So, they just start walking along. It's a jungle area, and it's like starting to rain. So as soon as like 20 minutes pass, some monsters come out from the bushes, as he basically says, Kirishima, Bakugo, take it out. As Bakugo just says, "Don't tell me twice, nerd." And then he just basically uses his skill now to make an explosion to blast over to them. And like he, even though it's a skill now, he can still use it like a quirk and such. And Kirishima run over, hardens his body, and it just starts punching while Bakugo throws an explosion at it. Well, not killing it, but because of teamwork, they do kill it, and they do pant because it was like 20 minutes it took of them just to kill this one creature. As it could just sees experience points, as he's already halfway, and everyone else don't get any notification besides Miracle and All Might, and they're basically at already level 7. Izuku smiles at this and he goes like, "Alright, let's go." So they do. They go, and let's just say 1 hour passes at the agency, while a day is almost passing there. His regular soldiers have leveled up to about, all of them leveled up to around like level 27. Stain was pretty strong in the fight, so he doesn't. I mean, he goes up a couple of levels too. So yeah, Izuku basically, having the soldiers basically kill the enemies while they're resting. He does level up about, since he's having the shadow soldiers, some of them killing those monsters in the jungle. They even take the parts and give it to Izuku whenever they could come back. Sorry, come back to him. And Izuku, has more people fight. They're leveling up. Izuku has already leveled up 5 times. Now let's say around 7 times. And they're still having a hard time, but since Izuku's there with his shadow army, it's kind of easy for them. But Izuku's still taking cautious, so he's not sleeping for that night. And then afterwards, after everyone's sleeping and such, Izuku just waiting for his shadows to come back to him. And it does seem like a few of them are, but there's still some in combat because of some villains and such. So yep. And okay, this is when I'm starting to get dozed off. And basically, Izuku is still growing in experience. So I said about 5, then I changed it to 10. Okay, brain not working, no, not right now. Yeah, 10. He goes up by. Yeah, 10. Then he goes up by another 10. So he has 20. Hmm. Trying to think of something really cool. Yeah, whatever. So Izuku is impressed. He's like gone up. Like he gone up, but he's wondering how much XP he's gonna get from the boss. So after he takes a quick nap, everyone wakes up. Izuku then goes over to Ezel and asks if she's alright, you know, with everything. She goes, "It's fine. Never been at S-rank dungeon." And Bakugo, Kirishima, Mina, and Denki. Just saying, like the last time we were in an S-rank dungeon, we were basically in a frozen forest area with basically like ice house. And Zuku, does nod his head and says, "Yeah, I know." That's when you guys first found out about me. And Bakugo goes, "Yeah, surprisingly." Anyways, when do you think the boss is coming? And Zuko does say, "Well, I took out most of the enemies, and they're just kind of respawning now. And I bet you guys leveled up a lot. So everyone up by..." Alright, let's just say everyone's level now is 40. Not 40. 35 now. So yeah. So people are like starting to put points into their stats and their skills. And yeah, Izuku just told them he's gonna be back real quick. So he just starts walking away, and after 20 minutes of walking, he found the area of the boss. And well, then he comes. So basically, then he uses a sprint to run all the way back to everyone, and he relays the information of where the boss is and tells them. So yeah, they all his So basically, they go over as a group, and they take on the boss, and they wipe it. They basically take it down pretty easily. But Zuku did definitely have to take the final kill, as he levels up like a lot more. Basically, I said he leveled up to 10. He levels up an extra 20. I mean, he levels up another 10. Well, no. He levels up to about 13. Okay. So it's 10 plus the. Okay, let me just do this. So if I have him at 77, 89, 97. So yeah, so basically he had to be like 30, I mean, it's brain not working, sorry. So 10, 20, 23 points. And I'll tell you what's the stats later. And I do apologize, I'm just dozing off. I'm catching up because I stayed up all night into the morning to like 5 something. I did not get much sleep. So, hello everyone. Alright, so basically he's at level 200. He gets 400. He has 424 in strength, 488 in agility, 482 in sense and vitality, 491 intelligence, 555, and now he can basically have up to about 95 shadows he can summon now. 595, and I have to give him and basically he gets an icon for a skill. So hold on. Alright, so basically he has basically a new skill called the Darkness King. It basically will take about 90. He will basically lose about almost all his MP. It's 99% of it, and then he will lose about 50% of his HP. And it'll last for about an hour. The duration will last for an hour. And and basically another effect, the effect that will activate, well, basically it'll take all the combination of all the Shadow Warriors stats, merge it all together with Izuku, and it will basically add on to his. So it would be like an ultimate attack, ultimate move that he has in certain situations when he cannot win. And Izuku, smiles at this, and he tells them, "Thanks to you guys, I was able to get up to level 200, and I got a new skill." Cool. Ezel asks what it is, and he explains it, and everyone just says, "That's just OP." He goes, "Yep." So yeah, at this point, Izuku basically does like then see an enemy coming out of nowhere, as then he just brings out the daggers and attacks with them, killing the enemy instantly, and automatically he gets a notification saying daggers have level, well, not daggers but advanced dagger arts have basically increased to level 2, like that it has increased to level 2 basically, as Izuku goes, huh, cool. So yeah, I don't know when it happened for Sanjivu. I just put it in for right now, but I will change it later. So yeah, if I needed to, that is. So anyways, so Izuku just tells everyone to gather up, the materials and such, and then let's get out of here. As they do. They get up. They basically gather up the materials, and the red gate opens as they walking out of it. And time passed only about 2 hours. And Zuko just asked, not to, if we can, basically get to work on, upgrading the building and such, if needed. And, basically Natsu says, alright, let's see. So he builds the upgrade slash quest, basically, station. And what they go for the upgrades. So what they do is they basically get, the system only has a certain land, so they have to kind of for the system will have to basically have it they could upgrade the land and such, but he has to upgrade the building that will increase how much land they can have, and the ground, even the ground and such, and the other facilities. He can upgrade them too. So he upgrades the building basically where it would add a cafeteria and then a training area. Then basically for underneath, he basically adds a little bit more storage plus locker rooms and a library and such on enemy information that they may find. And well, that's it. The land that they have is a little bit more now where they can put down stuff. And as Izuku says, I don't have enough area to add a cafeteria yet. This stinks. As Natsu understands, it didn't take that much material. It was just basically some high material along with that. Then Izuku goes, "Oh yeah, the sword." As then he basically looks at the Yamamoto, as he just it's only level 1, so basically he just increases it all the way to level 10, because that's how far he can go up to, because of that one item that allows him to basically upgrade his weapon to the fullest. So yeah, he upgrades the weapon to level 10. And then, it even gives upgrade most another weapon up to level 10, and that's the demonic Excalibur. So all of his attacks is doubled, No, times 10 basically. As Izuku just goes, nice. Mika has been like impressed by all this and been wondering, how do you think, what do you think's gonna happen? Like, how many hunters are gonna, not hunters, heroes are gonna join and such? And do you think, people will understand that the significance of this? Izuku just says, I don't know, but hey, we gotta give it a shot, right? As they nod, well, not nod, no, not they, as Mika nods basically, and Izuku does say, like, as we have to, go. She goes, all right. So what happens is she basically gives her spear to Izuku, and he just puts it away. Stuff. He tells everyone that they're gonna go, and like he does like ask though Natsu like, what can we do with like certain materials now? Natsu does say that, well, for right now we can basically make at least a C to B rank gear, and we're gonna have to go in a couple of dungeons and such. Do you think we can do those? I already got like the air, like which dungeons we have to go into from the gear and such. As he goes, really? He goes, yeah. Hey, maybe we will be able to like increase the areas, even create like a weapons storage area for people. As basically Izuku eyes widen, he goes like, that'll be perfect. But where are we gonna put it? As since it is underground and such, Izuku does like have like basically the map of it, as he basically can put stuff underground. So he goes like, we can put it underground right next to here, as it will be basically as he points in right behind the forge. The wall is near it as such. As Natsu says, that'll be actually kind of perfect. And so they Izuku basically goes. They all go outside as he brings out like one of the keys. As they basically go in. This is another E rank key, but this time there's like different enemies and such. As they basically clear it out. Not that it didn't take long, and then no one leveled up. Not even Zuku. He did have to get back Ezel her like spear and such. So then they go into a C rank key. C rank not C rank, a D rank dungeon. They clear out pretty quickly, and then a C rank dungeon. And well, and he basically is wondering though, wait, how could I add stuff to and buy the like upgrading up so where I can get the land? As then basically he looks at the diagram of like the building that they have, and it's like a point system that he has for completing slash going to dungeons and defeating the bosses and leveling up with the party members. Now it's basically it adds on, so that's how he was able to like get the land to like increase along again the training. Oh, I know. I already said the cafeteria. Yeah, the train area and the cafeteria, and now like the storage area. So he's thinking, hey, maybe now we can. So basically, he looks how much like the weapons areas are gonna in their storage area, but technically it's for weapons, a weapons storage, weapons and equipment storage. As it costs like 20, not 20, 200 points just to like build. It makes it automatic. So he goes, all right. He looks, he only has like 150. So they're basically going through. This is like in the middle of the dungeon. So basically they're going through, they're killing more sea-rank monsters and such. As then they get to the boss. It's basically like a fine enemy. So a big giant bird, a phoenix, basically. As Nezu has some water attack spells. Natsu does too. Only like maybe two of them. Nezu has like four. Bakugo does try to like launch itself over to it, basically make an explosion. Denki tries to use his like lightning daggers and such, and it's not easily being taken out. So Endeavor basically, uses his quirk and like tries to slash at the base of the Phoenix. It dodges the attack, and All Might jumps up and tries to and uses the short smash, hitting basically the Phoenix, but not killing it. As then Izuku basically brings out All for One, as he basically asks him, "Can you take him out?" As he says, "Yes, my liege." As then all of a sudden, All for One uses basically a wind bullet that hits it, and then he basically just flying over to it. And let's just say he basically can make like a weapon appear out of his hand, a creation quirk. As then basically he just makes a hammer and slams into a bird's face, not killing it. As then Izuku basically runs over on top speed, taking out basically the dagger, not the Demon King dagger, and slicing its head off, killing it. And basically they gather the phoenix feathers and the claws, even the beak. No, I'm just kidding, not the beak. Just the feathers and the talons. And they're like pretty huge. Izuku puts in his storage. And so, after that, they go back over to the forging area as Izuku basically makes the weapons and equipment storage space. Izuku like upgrades the forge. Now Natsu can basically add like different elements to weapons, including the armor for resistance. So yeah. So they find that pretty impressive. And Izuku go like, okay, I did not expect that. That's kind of like good. He's Natsu's like even making some armor and such, because it has some extra. And well, Kirishima's quirk will work better without it. So he gives it to so basically he gives the armor to Mina as it to try it out and see if it'll fit. As basically she tries it on, it doesn't really if it's alright, she says. He goes, alright, that's good. It's my first time making armor, so I'm happy about that. Actually worked. She says it's no problem. And so what happens next is Izuku says, alright, now we're gonna leave. They all say alright. Izuku was near close to leveling up. And he was like, so close. As it was like, you didn't level up? He was like, I would have been 201. But no, I did not level up. She does understand that he wants to get stronger, so she says, that's alright. What level you are now? He goes, 200. She goes, that's a good number. He goes, yeah, but the enemies are still getting stronger, so what am I gonna do? She just says, just level up and try to fight as many strong enemies as you can. And then turn them against one another by making them your shadows. That's all. Izuku smiles at this and he goes, that's right. And while they're walking past an alleyway, Izuku basically feels someone bumps into him. It is a little girl. And so, unknowns to, Ezel and Deku, there is Mirio who's, near him. Let's just say that they were able to, even though they had no school, they were able to get try to work for agencies and such. At least. And the dorm's already introduced. So yeah. So basically, Izuku looks down at the girl as he goes, "Hey, are you alright?" As he bends down, he kneels down, and he's about to touch her. She flinches, and then he does see her arms and such. As he gets a serious look and asks, "Who did this to you?" She just says, "I can't say, or he'll kill you." As he goes, "Yeah, no one can kill me. Trust me, kid. I'll be fine." As Mirio is like wondering, "I wonder who it can be." As then, well, Overhaul appears and says, "Ah, there you are, Eri. I've been looking for all over for you." As Ezel's nearby, and Izuku can already tell who this guy is not good. He basically signaled Ezel to come near him. And what happens next is, Overhaul trying to say exactly the same thing, but not the hero's part, just like civilian. And Izuku just says, "I don't think it's a good idea. I should give you, your kid back. I think I should take her to like the hospital, get checked out with all these scars on her, man. Are you worried about her safety?" And he goes, "Of course I am. We just came back from the doctor." And he goes, "No, it doesn't look like it." Izuku basically told him. As Overhaul's getting kind of mad, he's about to take off his gloves, and Eri's trying to get loose, but Izuku's holding on to her. He says, "Don't worry, I got this." And so what happens is he goes, "Can I tell you one thing before you do anything?" He goes, "Yeah." "What is it?" "Now you see me, now you don't." As he turns invisible, even covering how Eri and Ezel, as they're basically able to get out of there pretty quickly. Overhaul is like really, really furious, and like he's like calls up his like goons to tell them to do a YN search. As then, well, what happens next is Zuko and Ezel ran over to the hero agency. Well, their hero agency is everyone's like still just trying to like figure out some stuff. Nezu was even there too, as they basically hear the door open because they're all on the first level. As everyone's wondering, I wonder if it's just as Izuku basically deactivates stealth, and Nezu runs over, asks like, "What's wrong and who's this girl?" As he basically explains the situation and that he had a bad feeling about him. So I think it's better off if we, taking the girl and such. As Nezu does see the scarring on her and such, and so he kind of agrees. But anyways, that's besides the point. Zuko puts her down, puts Eri down, and just says, "You don't have to worry about now. He's gone." She goes, "No, he's gonna find me and find you, and he's going to hurt us. Well, hurt all of you, but me, he'll just take me back and experiment on me." And Zuko just had enough. He goes, "All right, tell me everything you know about this kid." She goes, "No, I can't really say much." As Izuku basically just says, "All right, how about this? One of my friends will use their quirk on you and allow it to see for your mind. How's that?" As she nods. Not, yeah, every nods. And so he brings out All for One. He asks if you can read her mind and see what she went through and who this man is, basically. As he says, "Yes, my liege." And so, what happens is, he basically knows, he basically sees everything, and then like, he tells him, the not All for One. Taker basically tells Izuku everything about try not to make you fall asleep. Hold on, I need to try to think now. As All for One sees what Eri has went through with the experimentations and about her quirk and such, as he does like to say, "You poor child, you have been through so much at such a young age." Hold on. So Izuku asks, like, "Can you show me it? Show me what you learned?" As he goes, "Yes, my liege, and I will show everyone else here too." As he shows Izuku everything what Eri has went through, at least is shocked by this and upset. All Might is mad. Even Endeavor, Bakugo wants to kill this guy basically, and Nezu is just staring very coldly and saying out loud, "I do not condone killing, nor should heroes kill. This is a hero agency, but that man deserves to die." Izuku nods in agreement. And so then you see why I'm a vigilant. I was a vigilante, and Nezu says, "Oh, you still are one, but you are a hunter, well, a guild master, and a hero agency's, second in command if Endeavor's not around." And which Endeavor says, which he will always be in command, because I'm a member of this, this hunting guild, so I follow his rule. As basically Deku just kind of laughs at this a little, but then he gets back to the point. He does say, "All right, Nezu, do you think we can support any nearby hero agencies?" As Azul just says, "I saw a guy with, well, a weird looking outfit that had like 1,000,000 on it, and like a cape, like spiky yellow hair, blue eyes. The cape was red and such, red and red gloves." As then All Might, says, "That was Mirio. That means Sir Nightaye's agency is nearby. How did I not recognize this?" As Nezu says, "Oh, I'll get him on the line and have him come over here to talk." And Izuku nods. And so, after Nezu talks, they wait for about 10 to 20 minutes, and Sir Nighteye, his bubble girl, and Mirio's there, come in. As Nighteye goes, "All Might? It's been a while." He goes, "Yes, it has, Nighteye. How have you been?" He goes, "I've been fine. You?" He goes, "I'm in good." He goes, "Did you find a successor?" As All Might says, "Yes, I have." It's as he basically looks at Izuku, goes, "Is it him?" As Izuku nods his head, he goes, "Nope. I don't really need a quirk. I have skills, and that's it." As basically, well, Sir Nighteye doesn't understand. He goes, "Well, you heard about the vigilante solo?" He goes, "Yes, actually. I heard he took down that ant, and the heroes were about to talk and make a decision on trying to capture him, and well, it never happened." As basically Nezu says, "Yes, actually, this is him." As Night Eye says, "What? Then why you not arresting him?" And you said this is an agency. As then Zuku says, "An agency and a hunting guild. This is for hunters and heroes." And I'm basically the one who's gonna be running the show. As Sir Nighteye looks at All Might, goes, "Are you insane? You should be arresting him for using his quirk." As All for One is still out, and he's basically walking over to Nighteye. As he goes, "Oh, for one?" He goes, "I do not use that name no more. My name is Taker." and I would like you to not talk to my liege the way you are. As he goes, take her. As you know, he looks back at Izuku and goes, my apologies, my liege, as he bows. And Izuku goes, it's no problem. Just don't give a menacing aura, alright? And he goes, yes, my apologies again. As Sir Nighteye is sweating, Bubble Girl doesn't understand what's happening, neither does Mirako. So he just says, explain. He goes, alright, I'll tell you. All for One's dead, as you know. I basically brought him back to life, but as one of my soldiers. I'm a necromancer, you see, a class. Basically, well, someone that plays RPGs will get. This ain't a quirk. This will not be a quirk. This is something, well, beyond quirks, actually. And, yeah. So, I don't have a quirk. What I do can't be technically arrested for. As Izuku basically just looks at Sir Nighteye with a smile, as Nighteye kind of gets physically angry. And so then he goes, who's the... Izuku says, enough of your freaking babble and trying to figure out who has the successor of All Might. I don't care. Neither should you. As then, basically, Sir Nighteye just says, well, I should care because if this successor turns out to be a villain, then the world's in danger. As All for One laughs, and he goes, you are a fool. No one will be in danger as long as my liege is around. He's the most dangerous person on the world. Along with that, he cannot be killed that easily. As All Might says, I agree with him on that. Which he looks at All Might and kind of has a little grin on his face. And so Nighteye just finally says, so why are we here? As then he goes, this girl. As Ares was right next to him, his leg, she comes out. He finally went, no, Sir Nighteye can finally see her. As he goes oh, wait, that's the girl I was talking about with Overhaul. Well, Chizuki, basically. He goes, Overhaul or Chizuki? I figure that much. I mean, we do have to put the information on him. Everything his operation is. So, as a new, basically, hero agency, I am going to need some new recruits. I already got Bakugo, Kirishima, Mina, and Kaminari. Hey, do you think we can get your son Todoroki into this? Do you think he'll join? As Endeavor says he might. I do not know. He goes, alright. And he goes, wait, what do you mean? I was plan a raid. And then he says, but we're gonna need the police. And Izuku just says, just look at him, he goes what do you think? We're gonna need police help? No. We don't need none. As Nezu says, oh, I did call the police chief over here. Talk to him. I mean, we are a hero agency, so we should do it by the book. And he goes, fine. This is gonna be a pain. As the police chief comes over, as he goes, Nezu, why didn't you need me over here? So, as he goes, oh, hello there. This is Izuku Midoriya, the leader of this hero agency, along with Endeavor. But Izuku is more of a special type of hero. He goes, yeah, a hunter. Hero name, vigilante name, Solo. As the police chief eyes widen as he goes, and then he just bows to him immediately. And All for One is still there. He does then notice that. He goes wait, why is he's dead, brought back to life through necromancy. RPG, not a quirk, I already told you this before. He goes, yes. But it's just shocking to see him. He goes, yeah, kind of like a punishment you can think of. A sadistic way of thinking of it, but hey, it works out. And he actually kind of enjoys it, weirdly enough. But anyways, show them. As All For One walks over, he says, "Do not worry. I will not take anyone's quirks without my liege's permission." As he basically shows the memory of Eri, all of them. As he goes, and that's why we need to go to the Yakuza, that address for the Yakuza, who basically are separated from the real ones. And basically take them down. As basically, Nighteye said, should be my operation, because and we already got enough information for you, who could have took months or even a year to find. Yet we got it in just a couple of minutes. So, yeah, as Izuku's saying, can I basically go on by myself? Along with just my people? Or, we just stay here? We just need like 2 to 3 days of just getting maybe enough support of like heroes to join us. As well, the basically he does ask, can anyone become a hero in your agency, even quirkless people? And Izuku just smiles and says, of course. Heck, I can't even have All For One give out villains' quirks to like basically quirkless people. So anyone in my agency can become a hero. As then the police chief says, alright then. You and your people can go ahead with this plan 2 to 3 days from now. As he goes, cool. Nezu, you like to help figure out a strategy of it? He goes, of course. And though Izuku does ask, wait, how are we going to, as an Endeavor says, oh, I'll handle that. And he basically starts calling up some people just to give out some stuff. Hold on. So Endeavor's calling up some news reporters and some people that would write some articles online and such. And so what happens is Izuku basically, just wondering. He does also tell Elise that you're gonna be not in this one. She goes, nuh-uh. As she's holding Eri, like legit, like holding her like if it was her own daughter. He goes like, what are you doing? She goes, we're adopting her. He goes, wait, what? And Eri goes, what? She's like, she was trying to try to get Ezel to let go of her, as Eri was. As Ezra saying, we're adopting her. I already adore her. I love her. I think she's my own kid now. We're adopting her. He goes, we dating, and we are basically not ready for a kid. I'm still in high school. And then she says, you have all this money from the hunt, your extra side, your side quests, along with basically your freaking school. You basically did everything about 3 weeks worth of schoolwork in just one day. Hold on. And then Izuku basically says, okay, true. Alright. And then Nezu goes, wait, what? You do 3 weeks of schoolwork in one day? He goes, yeah, my necromancy skill depends on my intelligence. It allows me also then to have a lot more shadow warriors. So she goes, wait, how many shadow warriors could you have all together? 595. And that's even with my safe ones. As Nezu goes, oh my god. We need to basically have you basically get more monsters. He goes, yeah, true. But I want to get specific ones. If there's if there's certain enemies I can get, I need some dire wolves still, so maybe the queen ant. Yeah, let's bring out the queen ant and just kill it. As basically though, the room that they're in is pretty big. So the queen factory is there, as they put in he basically pulls out the queen ant's spine / pince or whatever that's near her mouth. He puts it in there, as then they analyze it. He takes it out, as then he just flicks the switch to make out the queen, as it basically, does have the queen come out. Izuku just freaking kills it. And, like, all of a sudden, like, he does then, like, use her eyes on it. And he doesn't feel no, like, effect of, like, his forces will not listen to him and such. And he just basically, like, looks at the queen, and then for some reason there's, like, a stat on it, like, a little pop-up screen saying whoever this queen, this queen can have a command setting of basically making warriors or beasts of his own, like, for shadows. Any beast that, any monster that he will like to have sets, basically the queen will make. So it'll be like make night enemies, beast enemies, like dire wolves, werewolves, and something like that. Like any type of like enemy that Izuku will want and such, the queen would make. So this is how it is. And Izuku was, alright. So I wonder if I can make like a separate like dungeon for this, so that way we could have this happening. Where then I can, it basically how it is. There will be shadows, but he still have to say a rise on them, and then there'll be like a part of it. So yeah, as then he didn't look at the machine though, as it says it can. He basically says, "Wait, combine a mixture," as then he basically thinks, "Wait, I can combine different parts of different monsters, like since it has like the DNA structure of them saved, I can then put them the structures together of different types of monsters and fuse them. Okay, that'll be freaking cool. I'll figure it out later." So yeah, so Izuku, then thinking about if he can open up a gate here, but it'd be like a door they can go through, and then it's like that'll be like a separate dimension where the queen will be in, and yeah, and then all of a sudden the system says separate dungeon, personal dungeon, activate, can be made. As it goes, go, okay, thank you, system. So he walks over to the farthest wall, and hold on. So like I was saying, he goes to the nearest wall. He puts his hand on it, and he says, "Great, personal dungeon." As just then, like, basically a door's opening up. Well, no, a door appears on the wall, and he's like, "Okay, this is awesome." Ari's like with him. She saw the monster, what he did. So yeah. Oh, I forgot they were on the first floor. So, yeah, Izuku, like Izuku just went down to the forging to go to the, like I said, the Queen Factory. So he has the Queen's, his Shadow Queen to go into his shadow. He walks in as when he sees the personal dungeon, there is multiple things. He can basically have like multiple monsters of shadows to be in here and like work. So he basically brings out the 11 shadows that he had saved, and he tells them that, there's gonna be certain things that you're gonna have to do here. And like he says, like, help the queen sort out monsters to Pacific areas and such, as they basically nod. As then he summons out the queen, and like he tells her to go over to an area that you will find perfect. As she like starts to look around and finds it. As she comes back over and gets Izuku, as he follows her then, and he goes, "Oh, perfect." So he makes a status. I mean, like he puts in the settings of what she can create. As basically, he puts werewolf, direwolf, and well, and basically just like all the like nearly like some more not ants but like high orcs. I basically a let's just say okay, what was another enemy from the manga that Izuku could another and a couple of like well Hayaki, you know, the ice elves, since he only had like 5 of them. That's plus Baraka. So yeah. So you know, as she like gets started to work and such, as already some shadow like the 11 Shadow Knights are basically are getting to work because she is going to technically need to eat. But no, she doesn't need to eat. Um, they will need to like have like some things happen as they are making like some areas of crops and such. Just for now to see like what happened, and just well, just doing whatever. He basically just told him basically build some crop, help out the queen, and try to expand this dungeon mining and such. As well, you know, they nod, and that's it. Zuko comes out and like he just tells them there are gonna be some shadow monsters in there. They'll probably be able to help you guys out. I will have to to tell them to arise if I want to put them in my army, and then we'll have basically enough forces to do that. And now we do have like an infinite machine that would basically spawn enemies for us to kill and then take the materials off of. So I think we're gonna be pretty good if we actually go national. And you know, Endeavors agrees to that too. And so he gets a call for the paparazzi, the news, and the paparazzi for the magazine. He basically tells Izuku to put on his solo gear and such and be ready. And he just says, "All right." So announcement. Endeavor goes on to a speech as the news says, "Mr. Endeavor, sir," one reporter asks, "Mr. Endeavor, why is it that you want us to come out here?" I was like, "I would like to tell all the people of Japan that I have made a new agency. But this agency is a basically a shared one with the vigilante Solo. You see, we have experienced the gates and the monsters that can come through it. Quirks cannot be effective against them. Only Solo and his weapons could. And so I have come to an understanding that it is best if we work with him. Even though he is a vigilante, his weapons, his unique abilities are something that we cannot deny. I have talked to Nezu with him, and we asked him if he could share his weaponry with us, and he could. We learned that, and we have found something very extraordinary. And so, we decided to make this a hero agency and a hunters, basically, guild. A hunter guild. To hunt the creatures of the gate. Most people will be a lot more stronger because of this. Most heroes will basically be strong. And even quirkless people can come here and be a hero. And if you're quirkless, you do not need a license until you come here and see what you can do. We'll get you the necessary licensing to be a hero. But you can also just be a hunter. And now, here's Solo. As Izuku goes up to where the cameras can see him, he goes like, "Hello there, everyone. My name is Solo, the Vigilante." As what Endeavor has said is true. Basically, as Izuku basically summons out a weapon, one of his, like, the Demon King's dagger. He goes, "This is one of my weapons. This is one of my personal ones, actually. So, let me just explain this. The weapons that you'll get are specially imbued with magic. And they basically could destroy the enemies that I face. Normal quirks won't work against them. So, your weapon will be assigned to your quirks, and quirkless people can become a hero in my agency. And a hunter. That's what this is. If needed, we will also, if there's portals, well, not portals, if the gates opened up in other countries, then we'll have to help them out. So I implore you to try and come here and show us what you got, what you're made of. Even the quirkless people can have hope. And so, that's all I like to say. As he's recently, Izuku's walking back into the building, as Endeavor finishes up, and just tell everyone, saying thank you for coming, and have a great day. As the word spread, basically the word spread like wildfire after the meeting was done, and Nezu already had multiple messages of heroes that were basically the ones in the lowest ranking asking they could try out his hero agency, and Izuku says, have them come over. But have them basically, we'll explain the situation too to them. As then he goes, but now I have to talk to at least, as he looks over her, not at least, I mean, Ezel. As is saying, no, I'm not letting her go. We're taking her home with us. Izuku just says, fine. I can't argue with you when you have your mind set on something. She goes, nope. As Nezu just says, you two make a good couple. As Izuku's face just, he just looks at him and his face is just red. And everyone laughs. Including, All Might. So, yeah. But Eri does say, Papa? Well, not Papa. She says, Dad? And he goes, my baby girl. And, he just holds her and such. And Bago thinks to himself, he just got right into the role so quickly. And Mika just, adoring Eri. So Izuku basically calls up his mom, tells her the situation, and about, Ezel wants to adopt her and such, so, yeah, she doesn't want to, let her go. And, Inko, laughs at this and says, well, we'll talk about it later, when you guys get home. He goes, alright, bye, Mom, he says. She says, bye. And so, from Izuku says, alright, we're gonna be heading home now, because we got stuff to do. And, let me know if anyone, let me know when basically those heroes, said they're gonna come over to the agency as such. As Nezu does nod and says, I will. So, Izuku, Ezel, and Eri get back to, Izuku and Ezel get home, and Inko just says, so, can I see her? As, Eri is right behind, Ezel's leg, and, Izuku says, Eri, this is my mom. Mom, this is Eri. As Eri just says, hello there, ma'am. And she goes, oh my god, you are so adorable. And Inko just says, look at Izuku saying, you are adopting her. She's too precious. I love her too much. And Ezel says, I know, right? Eri's blushing. And he goes, this is gonna happen to you a lot. But, he basically puts his hand out. He's about to, rub her hair. But she does flinch again. And he goes, sorry. She goes, no, what are you about to do? As then he ruffles her hair. As he goes, but, that happens. And Eri just kind of smiles at this. Well, she trying to smile. And Deku asks, what are you doing? She goes, trying to smile. And like the room gets silent, and they're like, "Oh my god, what has happened to her?" And like that's what Inko thinks, and Ezel and Deku just think, "Overhaul that jerk." And that's what Izuku does. And so like he basically takes his mom into another room and tells her what happened to her. And so she's like, "You were definitely adopting her." He goes, all right, I got you, mom. So yeah. And like he basically asks Eri, would you like me to be your, on paper your adopted dad? I mean your dad? And Eri just nod, saying he's a lot kinder. He'll love to. He goes, all right. So basically, Nezu already got in touch with somebody to have Izuku like told them where Izuku lived and such. As before Izuku could even like get to his phone, they hear a knock, and then they said, "If this is like a man from a adoption agency, and may I see the girl?" As then Izuku and Ezel show what area is, and he just like says he just looks at her for a few minutes. And he goes, "All right." He just brings out some paperwork right away. He goes, "Sign here, 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 and here." As Izuku reads it, he signs each one, and he was like, "All right, she's your daughter now." Basically they both signed the name Eri Midoriya. So yeah. And Ezo says, I'm your new mommy. Basically, and Eri does hug her. And Zuko just says, take her. Because basically, he comes out, Awful One does come out, he goes, yes, my liege. He goes, could you maybe take Eri's quirk and try to learn how to use it, so that way then you can give her the memories and information on how to use it properly. And Awful One says, we can try. But, we'll see. So Izuku basically explains to Eri and such what Taker's gonna do, and then he's gonna give back her quirk, but he's also going to then give you information on how to control it and use it properly. And she goes, really? He goes, yeah. And for my little girl. As she goes, alright, will it hurt? As Awful One, no, as Taker says, no. Actually, it would if I was still alive and had blood. But now it won't. As she goes, alright, please, sir, take it. As he does, Taker does take it, basically. And then, well, he says, I'll get to work with it right away. As he starts to use the quirk. He basically is getting an understanding of it. He writes down he's basically, writing notes about it and such on how to use it properly. And yeah. And so, sorry. And so that's where I'm going to end this off, everyone. And I do hope you guys have a nice day, night, wherever you are. I'm getting tired, and I got, like I said, split logs pretty soon, sometime in the morning. So yeah. So bye. Have a nice day, night, wherever you are. Bye.